see. Yeah, I'm gonna mute it. So, so he's playing Artio into Chronos. Let's just look at the team comps, what he builds. He's going TP, which I kind of like. I like going TP against mages, especially because usually they outclear you, so they have pressure early on. So you don't want them to gain too many advantages off of that. So having TP means that even though you're getting outcleared, you can sustain back up and be in lane constantly. You know, try and make sure that they don't like pressure into your jungle or anything like that. So it helps a lot with that. Because like if you're backing constantly against a mage who is outclearing you, then not constantly, but you're just not out on the map while they're mage outclearing you, then they have potential to you know, snowball for that. So definitely don't want that to happen. What's up, Spacebite? Chat. Oh, I see. Yeah, Zach. If you have a VOD though, I would love to watch it. So yeah, TP. We talked about that. He did go Health Chalice. This is a standard start. You know, Warrior's Blessing plus boots, which I mean, obviously you should be doing that pretty much every game, especially against a mage, because a lot of times what happens is since you get out cleared, they can try and poke you. Since they're out clearing you, you want an item that obviously gives you a sustain, but also helps with not taking too much poke from them. So Warrior's Blessing is going to help with that, obviously. So why still here? I'm not sure. So as far as abilities go, he started at his 3, which is fine. You can start your 1 or your 3. It doesn't matter too much. You're probably going to get out clear no matter what against a Chronos. Artio's biggest strength is her level 2, basically, because she gets basically 4 abilities at that point. So basically what you want to do, and I'll keep saying basically, is get out clear on level 1, but try and out clear at level 2, because that's when you're going to have your 4 abilities. So he's playing back here, which is fine. The ideal situation is he gets this entire wave and shares blue. If he doesn't share blue and doesn't hit 2, he will get out cleared on the second wave, because Chronos will probably be level 2, and then, you know, Chronos clear is obviously really good. Right there, that was pretty silly because he didn't cancel his dash. He should have canceled his dash right away and started autoing the back minions. So now he didn't get enough DPS on the minions, and he's going to go towards his blue buff. So he needs to make sure that he gets all credit for all 3 of these minions and get credit for blue. He's not close enough right now, and he's not going to get credit if the Hebo clears. So Hebo cleared, and he didn't get credit for blue buff. He wasn't close enough to the wall. So now he will get out cleared at level 2, and that's going to affect the rest of his lane. Chronos is level 2 because he shared blue. Artio is not level 2. Still level 1. Artio's level 1, not great. Artio's level 2 is amazing. And now we're in a situation where Chronos has already cleared 3 of the minions. We haven't even hit level 2 yet. So this is already where... Because Dewey said that the laning phase against Mando is where he had a problem. He was just getting kind of owned. Which is kind of to be expected against a mage. But there's already a few things he could have done differently to help out the beginning. So now he's getting... he just hit level 2. But he's already poked a little bit, and Chronos has full pressure in the lane right now. And it's going to be really hard to get it back. Basically, what you're supposed to do at this point is kind of just say, fuck this wave, and sit under your tower and let the wave die. And then on the next wave, be full health and try and get pressure back. Because all he's doing right now is letting the Chronos keep up the pressure, because he's poking him, clearing the wave. He's having to sit under his tower. He's taking forever to clear. So what he should do, Dewey, in that situation, you should... sit under your tower, let the entire wave die so that you stay full health, and then on the next wave try and regain pressure, because look at this little snowball effect that's happening right now. He just keeps poking and clearing the wave at his tower line. He's not really able to... This is kind of where it's going wrong already. You're having to use your health chalice constantly. Usually what you want to have happen, especially against a mage, is you use your health chalice to get to full health so that you can out pressure again, because at this point you actually can out clear him and have a lot of pressure because so many abilities compared to him. And another thing that you really want to try and focus on doing, and just think about it while you're playing laning phase, because this is pretty straightforward so far, is dodging the abilities. One of the best ways to not take poke from a mage who is out clearing you is just trying to dodge the ability. I would not put a point in my 2 at level 4. That does affect your pressure a little bit, because you're obviously not going to do as much damage to the wave. So just put 2 points in your 1 and your 4 at this point. So I hope that makes sense so far. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people make, and I don't know if you're going to do that, is they play super aggressive on a mage early on before they have like defense items or like power spikes, which is really weird, because even though mages are not nearly as good as a lot of these frontliners like Guardians and Warriors, they're only not as good because they can't make as good use of the defense items, right? So
it's been way more than 2 months, but keep up the good work. better. See you at Worlds for a beer.
Yeah, of course, Bone. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 2 months of the tier 2. Check this out. Boom, I click that and then I just pop up. The tier 2 sub as well. Thanks a lot, man. I will see it, Worlds. Don't worry. Okay, so you TP back in. That's fine. Cooldown boots. I agree with that. I assumed that he did not go TP on Chronos. He may have. I don't really know. Lost a minion at the tower there for no reason. So right here, you're just letting him poke you before the next wave. I would have let those minions die and then try and get pressure in here. So now you have full boots, and I think you have full boots over him. I can't really tell. So you should be trying to poke him at this point. Not only that, but you have a lot of sustain. Chronos has a decent amount of sustain, but you should be looking to poke him now that you got your power spike, right? You're trying to look for the power spike plays. So yeah, he's against Mando, so he's against a good player here. Looks like you're leveling your 3. I don't really agree with that. I'd rather level my 1. It has a lot of sustain when you hit the enemy god with it. But also it's just really good for clear. Both of them do a lot of damage. It's not totally wrong to level your 3. A lot of times what you want to do is not even put a point in your ult or your 2 and just interchangeably level your 1 and your 3. That way you're getting sustain from both and a lot of damage. It's going to help your clear a lot. So it looks like he didn't go TP because he didn't TP back into wave. Yeah, okay, so he just got back to lane, so I don't think he went TP. So that's something that you should keep in mind as well. You should use your TP to your advantage. Maybe when your TP is up, try and poke him as much as possible and let him poke you as much as possible. Then you TP back in, and then you have a power play over. So you're just focusing on clear, which is fine here. Once again, I don't really know what item he went. A problem with this matchup is that he can stun out your dash, so... Another thing here is if you had 3 points in each of your 1 and your 3, you'd be doing a lot more damage to him. You should out-trade him most of the time, and you need to just try as much as possible to dodge his abilities, which you did right there, which is nice. So he does have sustain, so he can't match your sustain completely, so you should out-trade him, especially when you have boots. But he does have a little bit of lead on you. You saw that Thor's here, so it's good if you just play back. That's fine, just make sure you don't die here. Let this wave go under tower, which is good. You already 1 HP, and they can still gank you. That to happen. So you know that your blue buff just got stolen, right? Looks like you said in chat, no problem. You know, that's fine, whatever. But you know exactly what time they did it. It was at like 5:40, right? So maybe even type that in chat, keep a mental note of it, and then maybe even tell your jungler, because your jungler may not be paying as much attention to your lane as you are. So if you say in chat 5:40 blue buff, then he knows at 7:40 it's going to respawn, and he can come over and help you defend it. And a lot of times, like, your jungler doesn't know or care really about your blue buff. This gank is going pretty weird. You guys force the Chronos ult, but it's really up to your Hebo to kill that person there. You're not really going to do too much, especially at the mana. But yeah, you're just going to play back, which is fine. So you know that blue buff is stolen, and what can happen a lot of times is if they get a lead, like he has a level lead on you right now, if they consistently invade that blue buff, then that's one way that they can snowball. So all you have to do is make sure that you're fighting on your power spikes. So once you get your defense item, then you can say, all right, let's defend this blue buff. I can easily kill them, or at least not die to them. So you try and fight on that, but also just let your jungler know, hey, they just stole blue buff. I really want to defend the next one because if they keep getting it, it could be bad. Obviously, you don't have to say all of that. You're saying it in your head. So just say, okay, 740 is the next blue buff. Let's defend it. We can get a kill. Because a lot of times, people will consistently invade a buff, and it'll almost be like a stubborn invade, because sometimes it's not even a good invade. And a lot of times, since you know when it's going to respawn, you can poke them out and try to get an advantage before the buff spawns. So either you just get it for free, or if they do invade it, you can get a kill off of it. So hope that makes sense. So the way this laning phase is going is basically just a problem because of how the start of the game kind of was a snowball since the level 2, right? However, you do have the tier 1 of a defense item right now. You do have a lot of points in your 1 and your 3, so you have a ton of sustain. You have a little bit of defense, and you just need to consistently proc that Warrior's Blessing so that you can get the full evolved passive. Another thing that I noticed that you haven't done completely is you're trying to hit the wave with your 1, but not also hit him. So you want to hit him and the wave with your 1 so you can get the heal plus the thing. So you said enemy missing defend, but you said it right. Your blue buff has already spawned, right? They're probably already on it if they're keeping the timer correctly. So if you had told your Hebo the exact time and he could have been there, it looks like he's ganking, right? So it's actually not too bad. If they do get your blue buff, you're going to be behind a little bit in lane, but you have to realize that your dual lane is getting ahead. They just literally killed everybody. So at the end of the day, you're getting behind, but the only way you would have defended that anyway is if your jungler was there. So it's not that big of a deal. You just have to suffer the loss for now. A lot of the XP that he has over you, I mean, he's like a level and a half maybe over you, is from invading that blue, and you guys get gold for you, which is nice. Oh, Am I really getting an ad? It's because I'm on incognito. Okay, it went away. That was weird. um, but yeah, like I said, pretty much all of the lead he has is from the start of the game. If you just fix that little thing, it's going to help a whole lot. Another thing is the way you're playing kind of timid right now. So right here, I would wait and get a mana pot. I know you're grabbing a ward, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But I would actually grab a mana pot because, one, you use a lot of mana on Artio, and you don't have a blue buff. But it's actually going to help you a lot in lane because you're not really going to die to Chronos anymore when you have Void Stone. So if you go to a mana pot, you're going to be able to poke him really, really hard. And that's the strength of Guardians and stuff. Like I said before, your base damage is going to carry you if you have defense. So you should be easily out trading him now that you have Void Stone. And if you have a mana pot, maybe you can just spam your abilities on him. And he's not going defense, he's going Warlock. So that's actually good for you. Because Warlocks, when you first buy it, is not that great of an item. Once it gets fully stacked, it's good, but he does not have the defense. You have so much more effective health right now. So right now, I mean, look how timid you're playing, Dewey. You could easily be, you should be going on it right now. You don't have a ward for the Thor gank, but you have so much potential to get away from a Thor with your stun and everything like that. A lot of his damage here fine against. And also the Chronos is not really going to do any damage to you. So, because you played timid there, look at you. You have to clear the wave while he's just hitting you. You don't want that to happen. At this point, even though he can clear the wave really easily, you can also clear the wave really easily, and you can sustain and not take any damage from him. Look how much you out-trade him. Like, you're letting him hit you with all of this, and you're still out-trading him. So, basically just try and... Once you have that defense spike, like I said, you got to play after defense spike. Look how much you're out-trading him. Once you have that defense spike, like, play off of it, right? See? And another thing with Chronos is it's really good to poke him consistently since he... If you burst him down and he just ults back, he'll be back at full HP. So you know your blue buff is spawning soon. You've poked him a lot. You could have poked him a lot more. If you poked him more than you already did and didn't play as timid, you'd have him really low for this blue buff and he wouldn't be able to go to it. I don't even think he can go to it anyway. He is going to go for it. Not sure. Okay, so he did get it. I don't know if he had to play scared there because he did see Thorn, right? So just kind of keep an eye on Thor on the map. Maybe you were afraid of Thor even being there and that's why you didn't play as much up. Another thing is here, like, look, if you had gone that mana pot, you would not be at so low of mana, and you would actually be able to probably trade with him. Like I said, something to just keep in your mind while you're playing the game, playing the laning phases. Did I just get a defense power spike? Yes. Is my god have a lot of sustain and a lot of damage? Yes. You're playing Artio, so you should be able to out trade him, especially if they don't go defense. If they go something like Warlocks, you should out trade them really. So. Yeah, just got to keep that in mind. You're still 2 levels down, but like I said, it's kind of all because of the way the beginning. You could be doing a little bit more to get yourself back into this laning phase, like I said, as far as like poking and telling your jungler to help you defend blue, keeping the timer and everything like that. I think I was partially playing so scared because it was against Mando. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I figured. Sometimes, like what I tell people most of the time, in order to get better, just play irrationally confident. I think that's the best way because if you play irrationally confident, then you'll learn when you can't play as confident, like when you need to actually play back. Because if you won't really learn anything if you just sit back against like every good player you play against, right? If you play really confident, then you can learn, hey, whoa, I actually out-traded him here, and the reason why. Or maybe he just destroys you and you get out-traded, and you're like, okay, well now I know why that happens. I could have done this to do it differently, or it's just based on the matchup, right? So yeah, just try not to play as timid. You know blue buff is spawning. You have to worry about the wave or the blue buff. I would probably just go wave here. It's kind of a decision you just have to make. He does have a little bit more secure on the blue buff because he can stun you and one it, which does a lot of damage. However, you do know he's at blue buff right now, and you have your team on the left side of the jungle, so that's a really good call for you guys to go on him. This should be a kill. Nice, he should just die here. Yeah, okay, cool. He ult secured it. So that's actually a really big kill. Even though Chronos, I don't think had any kills. He was level 14. And getting him off the map is really nice. Okay, you guys get the free Pyro kiss. Nice. Thor should die here for sure. He dove in. You guys have a ton of chase potential. And you... Okay. So basically at this point, your level 12, you're still a little bit, a few levels down, or a couple levels down. However, you just got to kill. You got Pyro. You killed the Chronos, who was ahead of you. You guys are up 3k because they got the dual lane really far ahead. So this should be smooth sailing from here. So even though the mages can get ahead in the laning phase, it's usually not too big of a deal because they won't have as much of an impact in the team fights. Plus, if they build tank, they won't do nearly as much damage as a Guardian or Warrior because their base damage numbers are a lot higher most of the time. and they have more seats, so they just obviously affect the team fight more and contribute more. So yeah, you get his blue buff, which is nice. You're just playing off the advantage you had. He was dead, or was dead, and you're just for the farm while he's dead. So now you're barely behind. You have your TP up. You can TP back in with your full breastplate. You're at full CDR. You're never dying to Thor ganks now, especially since he's behind side. And you're never going to get out traded by this Chronos anymore because you just have your abilities up so often that you're going to sustain all the poke he has. And you just have a lot of defense. So you shouldn't play scared really at all ever. You should start proxying at this point. Honestly, if I were you, since he has the timer on your blue and you don't have the timer on it anymore, I would just be giving that up and proxying. You're saying enemy spotted, but right here you're rotating. I would just go proxy. Even though gold is up, just having that wave pressure and the potential to invade their backs and stuff like that. Plus the fact that you kind of believe, like you should at least believe most of the time, especially if you're against a good player, that their soul laner is going to proxy when they're not in. They're like on your side of the map, then like right here, I'm not too sure what you're doing here. You should be clearing as fast as possible so that you can get to the next wave for the proxy, or start rotating just in case gold or back camps or anything. Right here, you should be going to proxy. Good. Could have done it before, but that's fine. Basically, once you get your power spikes online and look at like, hey, is there jungler behind? Yeah, they're never going to be able to gank you. And if Thor ganks on his own, or if multiple people gank you, then you should be able to get gold fury for free. And you do because your dual lane is just so far ahead. So this is part of the problem with solo lane right now. Their Chronos did get an advantage on you, and he invaded your blue buff a few times, but because his duo lane and maybe even mid lane got far behind, he's not going to be able to win this game. Because they're up 5k. He's here way before you. Part of the reason for that is you're fighting on your side of the map, and he proxied. You finally get to the rotation, which is nice. You definitely should rotate here. Good that you're finally here. It doesn't matter if you're rotating late. Sometimes if you're going to rotate so late, then you might as well never rotate and just push the lane. But since they're fighting for so long, you definitely want to. But part of the reason he was there before you, like I said, was because you were fighting on your side of the map, but also because he started proxying before you did. You just have to assume against a good player that when they're on your side of the map that they're going to proxy. So make sure that you go. As long as you can't die, which you can't. You're just ahead of their jungler and have your defense on it. So I hope that makes sense. Dropped a Chronos kill right there. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention because I was trying to explain that. See if you could have played this fight mechanically differently. Most of the time, I don't really care too much about that because that'll come just by practicing and playing. More about the decision making, play style, and like that. Dashing in here is fine, I think. Just get here in time. You force a Chronos Soul. You know he's going to be around the same place. You're still at full health. You don't have to play so scared. They're both really low. In fact, I would be playing super aggressive here because you're still full health. You definitely can kill them. Yeah, you definitely could have killed them there. You're playing scared. Like I said, it could just be because you're playing against a good player and everything. Just fine. But you're full health still. You have your defense items. You still have your shell up. You definitely can chase them around there, especially because they're low. So yeah, for sure, you should have kept going on them. But that's okay. That just comes with. That's just a play style. Not as much a play style thing, but a mindset. If your mindset is like that you're playing confident, you're being confident in your play, and the fact that you can, out-trade people and kill people, then right there you probably chase them down. If you're playing against bad players, you may even do that, right? Not bad players, but players that at least don't think are like professional and stuff, Your teammate calls out Mando's huge. Wait, I'm huge. He's actually not that huge. You're level 16. You're a guardian, so you're going to impact the game more as far as team fights go with CC and stuff. So the fact that he's only one level ahead is actually not the deal. And like I said, that just kind of goes with the fact that he is a mage that outclears you and the way the beginning of the game went. So at this point, it should be smooth sailing. I'm probably not going to talk about too much more. You're at 4K. Your team comp's better for the fact that you have double frontline and they don't really have double frontline. And you're dueling so far ahead that it should be a win. You guys actually have a really cool team comp. You have triple magical damage, Sylvanas, Artio, Hebo, and then you have double hunters. That should be pretty good. So I'm going to be done with this game. I hope you learned a thing or two, Dewey. It's not like you played it pretty well. There's not too much to go over. Like I said, the main thing was how the beginning of the game went. Just kind of realize how much that impacts it, right? Especially if you're playing a character that's really, really good at level 2 like Artio. You want to make sure that you're level 2 for the second wave, because if you're not level 2 for the second wave, you're going to get out pressured, and it's just going to be a problem of them consistently out clearing you and out poking you. So Another thing is, one of the strategies that you should learn to do is, let me go back real quick, is once you're getting out cleared and everything, you don't want to keep wasting your chalice. Let me go back a little bit more. You don't want to keep wasting your chalice and keep getting poked. You should just let the wave go under tower so that you can regen to full HP and then try and regain pressure on the next wave. Because if you're already half health and you have a pot ticking and you're still getting hit as he's clearing the wave, you're never going to regain pressure against him. So when and if I ever go against you in solo lane, play super aggro and kill your ass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I actually think that's one of the best ways to get better at any game. Is just to play irrationally confident like you are a fucking professional. What is going on? What is this advertisement? So we're gonna be done with that. All right, Cricket. No advertisement for you. But yeah, so just play super confident. Obviously, don't play dumb. You don't want to just fucking like run to their Titan room and say, hey, I can kill all 5 of you because you all suck. But, you know, don't play timid. Like, just learn when you can do things and when you can't. And the only way you can do that is if you play aggressive. So, yeah, Mazi, I've learned a lot. Thank you.